Before you get started, I'd like to introduce you to our sponsor, Lock Affiliates, exclusive home to the Lock Poker and the Lock Casino brands. Here are the reasons why affiliates should partner with this program. Lock Affiliates accepts players worldwide, including the US. And the program also just implemented a new independent cashier, which delivers fast cash outs to all players. And since its launch, brands are tracking at 45% real money conversion rates. Also, Lock Affiliates provides incredible affiliate support and is meticulous about on-time payments on the first of every month. With extremely strong branding and incredible player and affiliate promotions, Lock Affiliates is one of the hottest new programs to join the CAP directory. Thank you, Lock Affiliates, for making this CAP video interview possible.
Hey everyone, I'm Warren Jolly with CasinoAffiliatePrograms.com, and I want to welcome you to today's interview with Martin Carlesund. Since 2010, Martin has been the CEO and president of Highlight Media Group, the holding company of poker listings and CasinoGuide.com. HLM is a diversified affiliate marketing and online publishing company with offices worldwide and works in many verticals outside of iGaming. The company is the largest iGaming affiliate in the world, and to our knowledge generates over 100 million euros in estimated annual turnover. Today we will learn about the amazing business that HLM has built, how they got there, and the company's future direction. Martin, it's great to have you today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Let's start out by telling our audience the history of HLM since it first created PokerListings.com and how the business got to where it is today as the biggest player in our industry.
Okay, that's nice. I can comment on that and give you some information about the background of our company. I would say that it started with the founders. They saw a great opportunity in the organic search and also the PPC, and started out testing that early in 2005. And started to see how we could build a number of sites using the organic search as a platform. We were really early in that, and they created from the, among other sites, PokerListings.com, which became, due to our competence and the SEO, one of the largest sites in the world in regard to poker, for example.
Okay, so you're personally new to iGaming, and you had no prior gambling experience or industry relations before you joined HLM in 2010. What do you love and dislike about this industry?
I'm new to gambling, of course, and what I actually do love about the industry is the great potential in it. I think that we have it's like downgraded right now, and we're losing a little bit of the number of players and the interest from media. But that also creates a huge opportunity. It's a highly immature market, and I think that creates a lot of opportunities for us that is out there behaving in a professional way.
Okay, and what would you say has been challenging, or that you've not been so fond of coming from other industries in the past into gaming? Where do you see the sort of big challenges outside of just the ups and downs of the market?
It's probably a little bit the same as the upside. The downside, due to the immaturity of the market, there is a lot of, let's say, not so serious actors. It's sometimes very hard to make business with people in iGaming. They don't really say everything as it is, and it's hard to get sort of to the core essence of the business, and a lot of speculation, and a lot of hiding figures and so on. And that's a little bit frustrating, to put it mildly.
Okay. So, as far as HLM is concerned, your business, how many employees does your company have, and is there one office or multiple offices around the world? Help us understand the scope of the business.
We have multiple offices around the world. We have offices in Stockholm, Malta, London, New York, Palm Coast, Manila. I mentioned Malta, and Tallinn as well. So we have quite some offices around the world. We're well above 270 employees. So you would say around 300 employees in different places in the world.
Okay. You operate in multiple verticals outside of iGaming. What are your most successful verticals?
Of course, gambling, poker and casino is substantial. That's important verticals for us. But we operate in 10 more different verticals, such as like web hosting, forex, finance sector, mortgage, and others. I would say that next in line of interest for me right now, when it comes to other verticals, would be the finance sector vertical within the US. We're doing very well there, and it's an interesting market. So right now, I would say finance.
Okay. HLM also owns, I believe, mortgageloan.com. Is that one of the key verticals in terms of mortgages, or are there other specific sub-verticals in finance?
There are also other in finance, but mortgageloan.com is one of our major verticals on the US market.
Okay.
Doing very well.
Great. Outside of verticals, you mentioned US as a key market. What are some other key markets for the business?
It's either US or Europe. That's our two, of course, major markets, so to speak. And then if you look at the European market as such, then the major countries in Europe are the major markets like Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and so forth. But we are, of course, strong in the other countries as well, like Sweden and Scandinavia in general, and Finland, and so on.
Okay.
So I would divide it in Europe and US.
Understood. So you work heavily with SEO. That seems to be the emphasis in terms of the business. How do you successfully create a qualitative user experience, but at the same time, create as many leads as possible for your customers and advertisers?
I think that's a balance that you have to monitor it every day. If you don't monitor it, you will either go out of the search, not doing very well organically, or you will actually become a site that is not interesting for the user. And then in the long run, if the site is not interesting for the user, Google will take you away for some or other reasons. So we monitor it and we try to do it the best we can. It's important not to over-capitalize the sites. If you make them look like a Christmas tree, then they won't be long-lasting. And you have to build and take care of your brand and try to do something unique with your sites. And if you manage to do that at the same time earning some money, over time you will succeed.
Okay. In terms of monthly published articles throughout your websites, and maybe some of the top keyword positions you maintain in Google, and some of the highly competitive terms, what information can you share with our audience about the business?
I can, of course, not share everything, as you understand,
sure.
but I can say that we publish more than 180,000 articles a year, and we hold more than 10,000 number one positions within competitive keywords. So every month we have more than 10,000 number one positions, and we publish more than 180,000 articles, and that gives you some kind of scope.
You said 10,000 number one positions, correct?
Yes.
Very impressive. So, from our understanding, you were heavily impacted by the Google Panda update. What percentage of your traffic did you lose because of the update, and were you able to recover at all from this update, or are you still in that process?
We, as everyone else, as an affiliate, were more or less affected by Panda. I mean, if you look at Google's Panda rollout, about 40% of the affected sites were affiliates. So we all in the affiliate area were affected. And that's, of course, something that Google wants, because they think that affiliates are a little bit too thin and they don't add value to the user experience, and therefore they take it away. We are working to get back with many sites doing the right things, and we have gotten back with some of our entities, and we're continuously fighting to do so. And I would say that the successful criteria is, of course, in what I expressed as the user experience of the site. So you have to work with that in a better way, and you have to make substantial change to get back.
So outside of the user experience, are there any other things that you would recommend to affiliates in terms of SEO based on this major update and other factors that they might not be doing?
I would say that everyone that knows their business should consider where you make your money and focus where you make it, and don't keep too much things where you don't earn money, which is bad for your site, and that's obvious. So cut everything that is like not useful and still don't earn any money. Then you should take it away. That would be one advice.
Okay. So we recently profiled PokerListings.com in one of our infographics on link building. How did you successfully acquire over 2.1 million backlinks to the site?
That's the big question, right? I think that, first of all, Poker Listings is a really strong site in many aspects. It's strong in SEO, it's strong in content, it's strong for any user brand, and it's strong for branding other operators. So I would say that the 2.1 million backlinks or whatever figure that you will get out is like, it's a result of a lot of effort spent over many years. And if you continuously work with your site and you're successful with organic search, then you will have a huge number of backlinks. And this is I would say, the essence, the Poker Listings is the essence of where you will get eventually.
Rome wasn't built overnight, we understand.
Oh, exactly.
So before our interview, you had mentioned that you were trying to diversify away from your company's reliance on Google. What other traffic sources and marketing methods are you going to deploy to achieve this goal?
I think that any non-opportunistic affiliate, meaning that someone that is actually wanting to be building a company, needs to look into the normal marketing channels as existing to survive or to build their business for the future. And there are like print and there are other online measures to do so. And you have to look into that, and you have to try to find some balance to your organic search, which you can acquire rather cheap, and then balance it with maybe PPC and print and other, and that's what we're looking into. So I mean, PPC is one way, of course, everyone knows that, but you can do a lot. You can also do printed revenue or printed advertising to build your brand, and we're doing that.
And have you found any success with social media?
We are doing social media as well, and of course we have had some success with it, but there is a much less user intent in a social media platform than in, for example, Google, or if you look in an advertisement space in a newspaper. When you go to social media, you don't go there to shop, you don't go there to do something, you go there to socialize with your friends or colleagues or whatever, and due to that lower user extent, you have to evaluate it differently. So there will never be, even on high traffic volume, the high monetization or conversion on social media, and everyone has to be aware of that. That's known fact, but somehow in affiliates, they maybe not always thinking about that.
Okay. So in your opinion, what can affiliates do to build a strong brand in the industry?
I think we can do a lot, but again, it's not made in one. It's not enough to just take one domain and push it to number one keyword in a SERP where you earn some money and there is no long tail. You have to add something. To become a brand, you have to add content, you have to have a user experience that is good, and you have to actually contribute, invest something. If you don't do that, you will be a thin affiliate, and then you might earn money for a while or for a very long time, but you won't be a brand. You can earn maybe money for a long-term period, fine, but there won't be a brand. If you want to go for a brand, you have to invest in that. You might need to take down your conversion, and as I said, add content and so on. So we are, of course, now trying to balance that as everyone else, because to build a brand costs money, and that has to be balanced between earning money here now and building the brand.
Okay. And why is it important for affiliates to run their websites like real businesses and do things like constantly monitoring their financials? I know you'd mentioned that's something that HLM does quite a bit, and that's behind the structure. Can you give our audience some tips along these lines, how it's helped the business? And
it helped the business in such a way that, I mean, we are in control. We know what we do, and we run it as it's a substantial, quite large company, and we run it and we know what we are doing. We know our trends, we know the statistics, we even know more about probably some of the player values in casino or in poker, or even conversion rates in lenses that we have, contact lenses, than the operators or the real business makers of that. And I think that if you know that, you can build something that is really good, and you can build a company based on that. If you only aim to earn the money short term, then you don't need to build a company. Then it's only about SEO, and you can go a little bit more black hat, and you can do a lot of things just to push your site to rank, and you earn the money and take a hit and run, and you get the money, and when you're done, you take the next site. Then it's more, I would say that's more like I can do it personally, I do it myself, and I earn my money, and I put it into studies, or I buy stock options, or I'll be a millionaire, that's fine. But it won't create a company. Then if you go that route, you're in for the money, and you do it for the money, and HLM is not in, of course, to deliver money, but we're in to build something as well. A substantial company present on the market, being able to create a cap value and a platform for our employees, the value of our employees, and all others. And then if you select that route, you have to act differently. Then you have to know what you're doing.
Are there plans to take the company public in the future?
Can't comment on that.
Okay. So when you look at the fundamentals of how affiliates and operators approach offline and online marketing in our industry, what areas of improvement are there in your opinion, and why is this important?
I would say that when everything, if it's so typical when it comes to poker, and many of the casino operators are also coming from the poker world. They complemented the poker platform within a casino and so on. But when everything was going very, very well, it was a hype situation, money pouring in, people earning a lot of money, then it's not that important how you spend your marketing. You can take $1 million or two or three, and you spend it somehow on marketing. You buy a place, affiliate, and you do something else. But once it gets to a more normal situation, you actually have to know what return on investment, how many eyeballs do I get if I advertise in this way, how does it convert, what do I need to do, just like anyone else. Like Gillette is doing a campaign in Sweden or in US, they have to know what they're doing. How if I put TV commercial here, what do I get in return? How many times do my target group see this advertising? Do we see it one time or two times? All those things have been completely gone in the iGame sector, I would say, because it's been so easy, it's been earning too much money. And now when the margins go down and it's pressure, the market is legalizing, then everyone has to have a proper analyze on what they're doing and see what kind of return do we get on this publishing or this player that we buy from poker listings. How do we earn money on that? And we have to negotiate and discuss that. And when we do so, we'll learn and we'll find other marketing channels being prosperous or giving much return.
Okay. How has the poker listings business been since 2006, since the change of the U.S. landscape? Have you seen growth consistently? What is the current lay of the land of pokerlistings.com?
Do you mean in U.S. in particular?
No, I mean globally, just the website and the business behind it. I mean, have you, obviously I'm sure when the US market closed, there was an impact, but what has happened since then?
I mean, if you look at the global poker market, it peaked 2009 in March. That's it. There is a fixed, just skip everything at 2009 March, it peaked. And after that, it's been going down. Different volumes, different parts of the world, but it's still going down. There were in I won't tell what market, but one market first half of 2010 organically went down with 48% in Europe, meaning that the number of new players on the market were 48% lower 2010 first half year than 2009 first half year.
Wow.
People don't understand that. The market is at the same time consolidating, so some operators grow, of course, like PokerStars have been doing good during that time, but that's due to consolidation, that's not market growth. And you have to monitor your market, what's happening with it. And to just put it bluntly, poker has been going down since 2009 March all over the world. Then, of course, seasonality blends in, and then, of course, consolidation, some brands disappear, and so on. That, of course, affects it, but the total market organically has been going down. And I think that We see it, of course, because we monitor the market. I do that. We have a data warehouse, which I implemented 2 years ago, and we really monitor exactly what's happening in our markets. And we have tens and thousands of keywords that we monitor and see exactly how behavior is changing. And we see the number of people coming in and going out. And since Google is such a large actor, that's like you can read the markets from that. And I think that anyone present on the market space should evaluate that and see what's happening and have to take proper action due to that.
Okay. So as you see competition growing, the saturation occurring, and the markets sort of decreasing, how do you plan on continuing to expand your business in online poker over the next few years?
We want to build a very good portal for poker in each country. We have a number of products and we put them together, and we acquire a number of companies in different countries right now to build a substantial part of poker. And we're aiming to grasp the opportunity within poker, delivering good players to operators, high value players, fish to the network, and having a very close and good cooperation with operators. So we are like building right now to remain on the market and be a substantial marketing partner.
And you see that happening also quite a bit through consolidation on your own end, acquiring specific players in certain markets.
Yes, we do that.
Okay.
And the little bit challenge right now is that many of the objects that we acquire or are on the way to acquire or have acquired, they are coming from a very high profit margin, and they earn a lot of money, and they believe in a really strong value of the company, but now it has to come down substantially. And when that happens, we are willing to buy actually the entities and add them in a certain way to our portfolio.
Okay. So you're in many other verticals outside of online gambling. You had mentioned moving into the U.S. finance. Are there any other new verticals that you're considering moving into that we haven't touched on?
We started 10 new verticals 2011 already, and evaluating them. And of those 10, there will be 3 of them actually pushing hard revenues 2012. And I will keep them to myself until they deliver. That's the simple fact. But we constantly develop and looking for new verticals, using our skill and the setup that we have to actually reach out and get the new verticals. And this year we started 10, and I think that 3 of them will survive, and the rest we just cut down.
Okay. And last question, where do you think the online gambling industry will be headed in the next 5 years?
I think that the gambling industry will be legalized completely in 5 years. Basically all European and also US market. US market won't be legalized as I see 2012, possibly 2013. There will be tax on all iGaming. Casinos will not be legalized. It might be shut out, like it's been in France, for example. And I think that number of the operators will disappear again. We don't know which, but if I would have told you 2 years ago that Full Tilt and PokerStars would actually be killed in the US, you wouldn't have believed that either. So I think the same changes will come into Europe. Not in particular, of course, PokerStars, but it's like there will be major changes on the market space. We could see the same with parcours stealing, for example, France and so on. And I think that everyone needs to that is an operator, they have to manage their company differently. They have to, instead of like increasing the rate, they have to cut costs for the first time. You have to balance the company. You can't go, okay, we're losing money due to tax, so we increase the rate because that will kill the game. You have to lower your cost base, do some cost cutting, for God's sake, and then keep the rate on a low level, because the fat and happy times, they are over. So that's how I see it. Okay.
Well, Martin, it's been great to have you as our guest today. I really appreciate all your insight and expertise, and it sounds like you're doing a wonderful job over there in the past 2 years you've been in the post. If anyone's interested in contacting Martin at the end of this interview, please send an email to interviews@casinoaffiliateprograms.com, and we'll be more than happy to put you in touch. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future interviews with iGaming industry leaders.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.